Hi, this is Eric Martin with Board Game Geek. I'm here with designer Spartaco Albertorelli, looking at Dice Run, new edition of which was released last year. Yes, from your own Kaleidos Games.
Kaleidos Games, yes. It's the first game of Kaleidos Games. Yeah.
All right. Maybe you can show us how to play.
So it's quite simple. 30 dice in 5 different colors, and players receive at the beginning of the game 4 secret goal. And this card showing a color and a number. Let's say something different from 1.
Okay.
So the race is divided in 4 stages. At the end of every stage, you will play one of the secret targets you have in your hand. During the game, you play movement cards, and when you play the movement cards, there are 2 main actions. Is when you play a number, you simply move all the dice matching that number, 1 space on the right or on the left. It depends on where you place the dice at the beginning. In this case, there is just a single one, so this is your move. Okay. Every time you play, you draw a card from the deck.
Okay.
You have 3 movement cards in your hand. If you play, let me see if I found a color card, you move all the dice matching that color. What is important to remember is that you always start moving from the leading group. Okay. So again, if I play, let me say... Yeah, thank you.
There's a little itch in the back of my head.
And if in the next turn one of the player plays, on example 2, like this, you start moving from the leading group. Okay. So you move this one, and then you move all the other 2s from the last group on the second one.
Okay.
There are other special cards that give you the opportunity to move the 3 dice in the leading group, to exchange the group, to choose the number, and so on.
Okay.
And during the game, you will place the dice in that way. An example. This is an example of play. There's a group leading, and then the other group following. Okay. Inside the movement deck, there are 4 stage cards. This one, with different values. You start with the number 3, then 4, 5, and 6. They are put randomly inside the deck, more or less at the same distance. So when you, at the beginning, you take the deck. And
a quarter of the deck.
Exactly, more or less. Okay. So you don't know exactly when the stage will end. But when you play, when you draw the card, one of the cards has a flag on it.
Okay.
This is the stage. In that moment, all the players have these 4 cards, and you choose one of them to try to score more stage points as possible.
Okay.
How do you score points? You score points in that way. You score points for 1 point for every dice just in the leading group, for every dice matching the color, and for every die matching the number. So in this case, it's 1, 2, and 3 stage points for me. Okay. In case you have a die matching either the color and the number, you score 3 points. Okay. So this is 3, 4, and 5. The player scoring the most points win the stage and take this card. Okay. So it's 3 points. There are 2 points for the second player and 2 points for the second player and 1 point for the third player. What is important, that the second and the third player always score 2 and 1, while the player winning the stage score more points at every stage.
Okay.
The play goes on exactly in this situation. You don't regroup the dice. So you have to think very clever on how to play the cards, because now you only have 3 left, then 2, and in the last stage you only have a single secret goal in your hand.
For the most valuable.
For the most valuable. So you have to think in advance how to move the dice for the most important stage, that is normally the last one.
Okay.
You can also win if winning just the first and the second and the third stages, but normally the last one is the most important.
All right.
The game can be played up to 6 players, and it lasts 20-30 minutes as a maximum.
All right.
That's it.
Well, thanks very much for the overview.
Thank you very much.
Looks good.